you check your phone. Another promotion post on LinkedIn, a friend's startup exit. A vacation photo from a sibling who ghosted you twice last month. You don't blame them, not out loud. But inside, something old tightens in your chest. Heavy, physical. We like to believe we're rational people living in a fair system. We're not. We're biological machines running ancient software. When jealousy spikes, it isn't just a feeling, it's a neurological hijack. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that plans, reasons, and sees long-term, goes offline, and the limbic system takes over. It whispers scarcity, it paints isolation, it tells you you're falling behind in a race that never actually started. This loop is exhausting. It burns mental fuel, it kills creativity, and in an age of endless comparison, it's becoming our default state. But here's the paradox. Modern psychology often overlooks an ancient wisdom understood deeply. This pain, ISNT, a malfunction, it's a message. The discomfort you're trying to numb is the same signal pointing toward the joy you can't seem to reach. In this video, we're going to dismantle the machinery behind these reactions. Using 3 mental models drawn from the teachings of Zen Master Minh Niem, we'll decode how the heart is wired and how to turn this inner noise into something disturbingly calm. But to fix the engine, we first have to look at the culture that overheated it. The gig economy has shattered the idea of a career into 1,000 unstable tasks. Job security is thin, attention is fractured. Comparison is constant. Psychological data shows anxiety rates among millennials and Gen Z at historic highs. We are the most stimulated generation in history and one of the least emotionally resilient. We treat the mind like a browser with too many tabs open. When it lags, we don't close tabs. We refresh. Caffeine, scrolling, distraction, productivity hacks. But you can't optimize a nervous system that doesn't feel safe. Real healing requires a different skill: emotional agility. Through his stories and teachings, Zen Master Minh Niem offers something rare: a bridge between ancient introspection and modern neuroscience. His work aligns closely with mindfulness-based stress reduction developed by John Kabat, and the data is clear. Consistent emotional awareness doesn't just relax you, it physically reshapes the brain-reducing activity and density in the amygdala, the center of fear and threat detection. This isn't about becoming a monk. It's about staying functional in a volatile world, about building a nervous system strong enough to focus deeply while everyone else is quietly burning out. But to build that strength, we have to start with the one thing we are biologically trained to avoid. Model 1: pain as a prerequisite. We're taught that happiness means eliminating suffering, so we friction-proof our lives. Noise-canceling headphones, blocked contacts, constant entertainment, medication for every low mood. But biology tells a different story. Trauma researcher Bessel van der Kolk puts it simply: pain you don't feel doesn't disappear. It moves into the body. Unprocessed emotion becomes background noise in the brain's default mode network. It hardens into rumination, restlessness, numbness. And numbness is expensive, because when you dull the low end of emotion, you quietly amputate the high end too. You cannot selectively numb grief without also numbing joy. Minh Niem reframes this with a simple image. Mud is the ingredient of the lotus. Happiness isn't a permanent state, it's a contrast. When you lose a job, the first sensation is fear. But if you stay with that fear, instead of drowning it in noise, something subtle happens. The brain stops predicting, stops narrating, stops time traveling. And in that stripped-down preset, small experiences regain their color. Tea has weight. Rain has sound. Walking has texture. This isn't masochism. It's clarity when you accept suffering as a season of the nervous system. You stop spending energy trying to cancel winter. You learn to recover, to compost, to prepare for spring. And as the fog of resistance lifts, your work changes. You're no longer working to escape your life. You're working from inside it. But sadness is slow and heavy. What happens when the emotion isn't fog, but fire? Model 2, observation breaks rage. Modern advice about anger is usually binary. Suppress it or explode it. We're told venting is healthy. Hit something, scream, post, rant. Neuroscience says the opposite. Venting doesn't release anger. It trains it. Every emotional outburst strengthens the neural loop between stress and aggression. You're not clearing the path, you're paving it. Richard Davidson's work in effective neuroscience points to a third option. Witnessing, when anger rises, your nervous system enters an amygdala hijack. Vision narrows, heart rate jumps. The body prepares for violence. The way out is not expression, it's observation. The moment you shift attention from the story of anger to the sensation of anger, the heat in the face, the pressure in the chest, the tightening in the gut, you reactivate the prefrontal cortex. You move from being inside the fire to watching it. Minh Niem compares anger to a flame. If you feed it with stories, it spreads. If you try to crush it, you get burned. But if you simply watch it, without commentary, it consumes its own fuel. Emotion is self-extinguishing when it isn't rehearsed. This dissolves resentment. It frees the mental energy usually wasted on grudges and replay loops. Your attention returns, but calm alone isn't freedom. To move through life with ease, you must learn one final skill: the open hand. Model 3, letting go and flow. We live in a culture of gripping outcomes, gripping identities, gripping status, gripping control. This tension keeps the nervous system locked in fight or flight. Always bracing, always defending, always performing. Minh Niem teaches release. Release, not resignation, not laziness, but the psychological act of separating your worth from the outcome. You control effort. You never fully control results. The moment you release the demand for a specific ending, the body shifts, breath deepens, vision widens, cognition softens. And this is precisely the doorway into flow. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi described flow as the state where performance becomes effortless. Not because you care less, but because you're no longer strangling the process. Think of a tightrope walker. Fear stiffens the body, raises the center of gravity, creates wobble. Balance only comes when tension drops. Wu-wei, effortless action. When you practice letting go, you interrupt the addiction to urgency. You stop forcing answers and allow them to emerge. By doing less psychologically, you accomplish more behaviorally. You move lighter, and life meets you more easily. These three models form a system for the modern nervous system. First, feel pain. Let difficulty carve the space where joy can exist. Second, observe anger. Watch it burn itself out without feeding it. Third, release outcomes. Work fully, then open your hands. This is emotional rewiring. Not through hacks, but through relationship with your own inner weather. Start small. Tonight, write the feelings you avoided today. Tomorrow, when irritation appears, just watch it. And when you finish a task, actually let it end. The goal isn't numbness. The goal is aliveness, because in this noisy era, the quietest system is often the most powerful. We search for peace like it's a destination, a reward waiting after struggle. But perhaps it's simpler. Perhaps peace is what appears when we stop fighting the mechanisms that create us. Happiness is not a matter of circumstance, but a matter of how we relate to life.